Since 1996, Pokemon has become a growing phenomenon that people have loved over the span of 25 years. It is expanded upon between movies, a trading card game, and various video games including spin-offs. The main part of Pokemon has always been the main series games. Although I love many of them, is it time to change the game to evolve, if you will. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Rinks, and welcome to another edition of Talking Pokemon. In this video, I want to talk about just the main series game, about how much they have changed over the years, and also maybe some new things that they can incorporate in future games as well. With that out of the way, let's get right into it. To start off, there's a lot of things to talk about with the main series games, but the main thing I want to bring up is, since the start of Gen 6, they've introduced Mega Evolutions and then other things following suit, but we'll talk to those in a minute. I want to start with Mega Evolutions. It feels like Pokemon are trying to do certain things differently and like how to get people's attention, and it started with Mega Evolutions in Gen 6. And to be honest, this was one of the things I was actually a fan of. I actually liked the concept of Pokemon like changing their form even for a little bit during a battle. You had a lot of different designs that it actually felt very different from the original design. So certain ones didn't really need a change, but it actually was a welcome addition. Like Lucario comes to mind. Lucario already had a sound design, but since his Mega Evolution, it actually made it a million times better, and Lucario is already a good Pokemon. And then you get to other Mega Evolutions, it just feels like designs of them actually improved, and I think this was a way for them to like change up the design, which I'm going to go into more clarification in a minute. You have such designs like, say, Steelix, who has crystals around its neck floating around, which I like this better than the regular Steelix. Same thing with Pidgeot. It feels more aerodynamic with his design. And then even Slowbro, which its shell is pretty much consumed its whole body, I even find it more fascinating. At the same time with these Mega Evolutions, it also changes its abilities and also give a great stat boost, whether it's attack, its speed, or its defensive core. With Mega Evolution, it felt like a welcome addition to competitive play, but also just in the game in general, and I would like for it to return sometime soon, even if it was like maybe 50 more Pokemon they just add. I feel like it's a welcome addition that a lot of people in the fan base love. When you get to the Z moves, and especially Gigantamaxing, I'm not really a fan of those two because I feel like they promote that so much that it didn't really contribute to the overall experience of Pokemon battles. With Z moves, I felt like it's just a overhyped signature move, which they've already been doing with other Pokemon. They've been giving them certain moves that only that particular Pokemon knows. They could have done more Mega Evolutions or some sort of like different form change. And then when you get the Gigantamaxing, I'm not a big fan of that one either. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that if you're going to promote something, it should feel like it should be something earned or something of a big deal, because I feel like whenever I don't Dynamax or Gigantamax, I can just take out the Dynamax Pokemon with just a single move and then call it a day. And to me, that doesn't feel special. It doesn't feel like a big extravagant thing in battling. Like, it's supposed to feel like when you say, if you're in a smaller form taking on a Dynamax, it's supposed to feel like a kind of like time chipping thing, but even then it just takes you can just beat it in a couple of moves and then call it a day. So what I'm getting is that some of these gimmicks that Pokemon has been doing recently in the recent generations, it just seems like they're doing all these types of gimmicks to lure people in to buy their product when they didn't really need to do that. I feel like they need to do other things, but before I get ahead, there's one last thing they've introduced that I'm actually a really big fan of. The regional variants. In Gen 7 with Sun and Moon, they've introduced a new concept called regional variants. And it's basically Pokemon from the past have a redesign and they change their form overall in a different region. This is one of the best things that Pokemon has done in a long time, better than Mega Evolutions. I wouldn't say that they have regrets with their old designs, but I feel like maybe they thought about it saying, hey, maybe we can do better with the designs, and now that we're progressed better with techniques and how to create a Pokemon and also how to draw them. You had the regional variants come out, and there's not a bad regional variant. I can't think of one that was a bad design. All of them are really good. Sandshrew and Sandslash, who they were okay designs, now they vastly improved them with its ice and steel typing counterparts. Vulpix and Ninetales, who a lot of people arguably say that is one of the most beautiful Pokemon they have ever seen, and then you made it even better with its ice and fairy typings. Especially Ninetales. Alolan Ninetales is one of my favorite Pokemon. With regional variants, I really do think it's a thing to stay, and I think this is going to be a thing continuing on, especially with its popularity. I don't see it going away. This is a way for them to continue on bringing back older Pokemon by giving it a brand new design. And a lot of Pokemon do need a redesign. They did that with the Galarian birds too, and that actually brings up the topic that maybe legendaries can change form too if they adapt it to a new environment. With regional variants, they're here to stay, and I think it's going to be good things to come, and especially giving older Pokemon a revamped look, and certain ones do need a new revamp. Now, saying the good things about these regional variants, I do have my criticisms with the main series game, and this is my way of kind of stepping into that. Before we get started on this next segment, I want to clarify, all this is very opinionated. This is just my opinion. One thing I think Pokemon needs to change is, I think they need to get rid of certain types and add new types. I'm going to step into the Galarian legendary birds for a moment. When we found out that they were announced as new regional variants, I was excited about the concept of legendaries having a different form of theirs from a different region that is adapted to. And then everyone thought they were going to be Fire Dark, Ice Psychic, or Electric Fighting. That was not the case. Their flying type was basically the same, and they just switched out to Fighting Flying, Dark Flying, and Psychic Flying. It just made me realize, and it made me think about a lot of things, is that why is the flying type a thing when a lot of Pokemon, yes, they fly, but that doesn't mean they should be a flying type. Like, so many other Pokemon could have a better typing if the flying type didn't exist. And I don't mean like you should get rid of it entirely. I think it should be like a subcategory that it should be a given these Pokemon can fly, but that doesn't mean it's a flying type. Imagine the Galarian Zapdos actually being electric fighting, because we've been wanting an electric fighting type, and that would have been a good way to introduce one. But with certain types, I think they need to get rid of them. Rock type, in my opinion, should be another one that they should get rid of. And I don't mean like rock types entirely. This is more into a certain category of Pokemon. Why is it that every dinosaur Pokemon that comes out, or every fossil Pokemon that comes out, it's a rock type automatically? Because aren't these Pokemon supposed to be revived into their original state? Like, why are they rock types? Because with Cradily, I feel like that should be a water grass type. With Armardo, that should be a water bug type. With Aerodactyl, it's a flying type, but I feel like it should be a dragon type. I mean, Lance does use an Aerodactyl. I feel like it should be a dragon type, at the very least, or a fire type. And I feel like certain typings get in the way of certain classifications of Pokemon, and I feel like we could do better. And then adding new types would actually give a bit more, I wouldn't say flair, but I think it would add more into these typings. More typings that make sense for certain Pokemon. Take Porygon. Porygon has always been a normal type since 1996. And I feel like if they added a new type, say Tech or Cyverse, like something internet based, it should be that type. Or even give it an electric typing to make it a little bit better. There's another new type that I feel like they should make. This should be exclusive to legendary and mythical Pokemon. A new type should be either called Myth or maybe Like, maybe make the word legendary or the word myth into a typing. I feel like legendary should have that typing. And it'll get on to the last part of this video, but I think with the typing legendary, it should have like a good resistance to almost anything, because this is a legendary Pokemon. This is a mythical Pokemon. When you finally catch this Pokemon, it should be the hardest Pokemon to catch in the game. Like, you shouldn't have a Master Ball and catch it and call it a day. Now, most of us will get a Pokeball that will match his color scheme to capture it. But even then, I feel like the legendary and mythical Pokemon should be the hardest thing to catch. So it feels like a sense of reward of capturing it, not a given. And then when you battle against one, it should be the hardest thing you should fight. Like, maybe with this typing legendary or myth, it should be resistant to all types, and that maybe you should figure out its weakness, so to speak. Same thing with the flying, that it should be a given type. The legendary should be a given type, but also an official typing. And then maybe you can make a new type that could only be the legendary. Another typing that I just thought about is with certain Pokemon that existed way back in the day, thousands of years, you should make a typing called Ancient. I feel like that would solve a lot of problems with the fossil Pokemon, that if you give it the typing Ancient. Same thing with man-made Pokemon like Golett. It shouldn't be a Ghost ground type, it should be a Ghost Ancient type. And then with Mew, that's another one that should be an Ancient or Legendary, like make that into a new typing. But with a lot of these typings, it feels like all these Pokemon are mistyped. And with Pokemon, they have a big opportunity to change a lot of these typings. Make Gyarados an actual Water Dragon type. Make Scyther into maybe a Bug Fighting type. Porygon into an Electric type, at the very least, if you're not going to make a Cyber variation. But with all these Pokemon and with the regional variant, I feel like the regional variant is a good way to fix up a lot of these complaints or a lot of these mishaps that they've done, because I don't think they imagined Pokemon to last this long. But as we continue on, we're about to go into very controversial grounds. Get to the last part, and this will probably be very controversial. To sum it up, and then I'm going to explain it. To sum it up, the Pokemon should be fully customizable. And there's a lot to say about this, about customizing your Pokemon. The first thing is, I feel like we should alter its resistance against its weakness. There should be a feature where it's a type chart to that Pokemon, and then it has a percentage about how much it can take to certain types, and then of course there's its weaknesses. What if we can alter its weakness? We'll take a Bulbasaur, for example, and let's evolve it all the way up to a Venusaur. With Bulbasaur, it's weak against fire types. But what if we were to alter it that its entire lifespan, it trained itself so much that it's resistant against fire types? And I don't mean to use a held berry or a held item to make it resistant against fire types. I mean full blown, it's resistant against fire types. I got this concept when watching one episode of the Pokemon anime where Brandon, the Frontier Brain, where he was facing off against Paul. Paul was actually using Pokemon that were strong against the 3 Reggie Pokemon, but yet Brandon was able to knock them out with ease. And they pretty much ate whatever weakness that they had. And I was thinking, why can't we incorporate that into the Pokemon games? Make the Pokemon resistant against their weakness, but there's a failsafe. I got inspiration from the Sims games, is that when you get one ability, you should get a weakness for it. Most notably, the Vampire pack from Sims 4, you get a new strength, But because of that new strength, you get a new weakness. So I think it should be played out like that with the new typings. You're resistant against that Pokemon's weakness, but you gain a new weakness. And also you can choose that weakness too. So it keeps it very refreshing and keeps it challenging that your opponent has to figure out what you're weak against. And also on the other side of customizing your Pokemon, I feel like we should change its appearance. Like we actually see an air balloon being held by a Pokemon or an assault vest onto a Pokemon. Actually see these items on the said Pokemon. And also just dress it up a bit, because sometimes I feel like Pokemon would like to dress up when they're battling. Going back into the legendaries for a moment, we like to joke about how Tobias has a Darkrai and a Latios, or say Brandon has a all 3 Reggies with him. What if they never capture them? What if they befriended with them? I would like that to incorporate that into the Pokemon games. Like, it feels like a sense of earning rather than just to be handed this Pokemon. Like, I shouldn't have the need of using a Master Ball to capture a Pokemon. I think also when you battle a Pokemon, you should befriend it too. It should feel like you're worthy of capturing that Pokemon. You have to earn its respect. Because of that, it makes it very challenging to capture the Pokemon. Another thing I would like to add about training with Pokemon is that when the wild area was a big inspiration for this part. You know how the wild area, it changed its weather, it changes things over time. It rains, it hails, it sandstorms. What if your Pokemon can train adapting to those situations? Like, when you train, like say if you train in a sandstorm, it helps, not only does it make you resistant against ground types, it maybe increases your evasiveness or your accuracy, because you're trying to constantly attack things that you can't see. Training in different areas will actually improve on your Pokemon stats, whether it's attack or defensive, or even bringing up evasiveness and accuracy, which I feel like should be official stats by now. We acknowledge them, but they're not actual stats. I feel like with all this, it would actually contribute to training a Pokemon and actually makes it feel worthwhile to train with these Pokemon. It doesn't feel like a zip through playthrough of easily beating the game. I want to feel close with my Pokemon. I actually want to feel like a partnership. I want to feel like a sense of accomplishment, like I've actually earned these badges. And I feel like if we incorporate this, it would be very challenging to everyone. I have been a big fan of Pokemon since 1998, and it has always been a big part of my life. I will not shy away from actually giving criticism to the game. I love the Pokemon. I feel like the gameplay needs to, pun intended, evolve. We need to change the typing of certain Pokemon to make sense of the said Pokemon. We need to add new types to already establish the diverse categories that we have, and also change certain types into subcategories. That it should be a given, not an actual official type. And also, I feel like training should be very customizable to every Pokemon, and each Pokemon should feel very different from one another. Whether it's changing its resistance, making it stronger against its weaknesses, and gaining new ones to understand the Pokemon, changing how we train in its environment, and also changing our appearance of our Pokemon to make it feel like our true Pokemon. And there's other things I probably forgot to mention, but overall, with the whole Mega Evolution and regional variants has helped me realize this, is that Pokemon can change and Pokemon can always have that chance of making the game better. There should be a sense of changing is good. I really do think they're in the position of changing a lot of things. Now, I'm not saying they will. It's a big company, and I think they feel like what they're doing is good. They don't need to do anything else. But I would like to challenge them on that. That they should strive to be better, or else they're going to lose their fans. They should really adapt to how the game is played. because it does feel very repetitive to just get a starter Pokemon, train them, battle through gyms, beat the Elite Four, become champion, and that's it. And then story narratives has already been better throughout the last couple of games, but when it comes to actually playing the game and actually training, I want to feel rewarded. I don't want to feel like it's been given to me. I want an adventure. And that's it. We're done talking Pokemon. Let's wrap up the video. Hit the notification bell to let you know when some more videos would come out. Also, like, subscribe, share. With all of this will help my channel grow. Also, there will be a handle in my description of my Twitter, Instagram, and Vero. Until next time, thank you for talking with me.